Hi everyone, my name is Justine Shine, formerly known as Justine Call, now married. I am a gold consultant with Archer Travel and Evolution Travel, and I am with the Platinum Organization Team Sky. So today we're going to be talking about where to book cabin rentals, because we all know, within Archer that, we don't necessarily have vendors strictly for booking cabin rentals that are preferred suppliers with Archer, right? So some of the vendors we'll be talking with, you're going to have to call them directly, right, and get commission through them directly. Versus booking through a portal, going through the process of Archer being paid and then you being paid from Archer. So here are some of the vendors that we will be talking about today. So we have Red Awning Travel Pro, RoomRez, Expedia Tap, Ski.com, Acorn Cabin Rentals, Gatlinburg Falls Resort, and Hidden Mountain Resort. So if any of you have heard of these vendors, please put it in the chat box. Some of them are from Archer. Some of them are not. If you've ever booked a cabin rental before, I would also like to know that as well, and who you use to do that. We'll put that in the chat box. Might take a minute for answers to come through. Here we go. So Tammy's booked it through Airbnb. Tammy, my assumption is that that was maybe on your own, or was that as a travel agent? Okay. Yeah. Yes. All right. Anyone else ever booked a cabin rental? B, ever used any of the vendors that we have on this list in front of us? No, that's okay. The reason I ask is because I do like to kind of gauge the crowd that I have, right, that I'm working with, just so I can maybe have people share their experience as well. So Karen's looked into a couple of them. Okay, awesome. All right, so the majority know, but some have, kind of peeked around. That's good. All right, so I'm gonna go through each of these individual vendors for you. We'll go onto their site, peek around a little bit, just so you can kind of see what it looks like and what they have to offer. Right. If for some reason I'm not able to mute people, so if you could please just make sure that you are muted, that would be great, since this is being recorded. So our first vendor that we will be talking about is Red Awning Travel Pro. Okay, you will, with Red Awning Travel Pro, book directly through their site. All right, you'll submit a commission tracking form, all that stuff, to receive your commission from Archer Travel. Right, they offer at least 10% commission on all rentals, plus special promotions that they have year round. Okay, so let's go and see what they have. I'm going to be using Gatlinburg, Tennessee as an example, right? When I think of cabin rentals, that's the first place I think of. A, I've been there. B, I've stayed on the Smoky Mountains. Absolutely beautiful and highly recommend it. All right, so if you are not registered with Red Awning Travel Pro, let me sign out and show you. So the link that I have in this presentation is the same link that you will use to register. All right, so you'll click on Get Started Today. You'll fill in all this information. After you get through everything and hit submit, they will send you an email with your registration acceptance, and then you'll be able to log in from there. So let me go and sign back in. All right. So, like I said, we're going to take a look at Gatlinburg, Tennessee, simply because it's my favorite. All right, let's say that we're going to go, let's go in October for a short trip. Maybe it's just going to be me and my husband, right? So we only need 1 bedroom, 1 bath, And then we'll say minimum sleeps 2. Right. Filters are always your best friend, guys. If you haven't figured it out already. So here we're going to filter cabin. And it's going to show us everything that they have available for all the filters I just put in, right? So they have beautiful, absolutely beautiful cabins here. And you can search throughout the US in other cities, towns, for cabin rentals as well, obviously. Okay, so that's Red Awning Pro. Okay, so you can even, I guess we'll dig deeper into this. So they have photos, it's just like Expedia Tap, guys, right? They give you all the information you need, obviously. All right, it'll tell you how much commission you're going to make. And you'll be able to book through here on behalf of your client. You'll still get the credit authorization form, all that jazz. And you will book it with them over the phone to collect their card information, right? Okay. On to the next. So next we have RoomRez, right? Surprisingly, you might actually be able to find some cabin rentals for certain destinations in the US through RoomRez. Okay, I did a search here. Again, it was Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and I was able to find a few cabin rentals. It is a little far-fetched with RoomRez. However, I still think it's a good resource to remember and have in the back of your head. Right, so if you are not familiar with RoomRez, RoomRez is great for booking hotels, transfers, car rentals, attractions. They're an Australian-based company, which is kind of unique. Right, so after being with the company for 7 days, you're going to receive a registration link from RoomRez to register with them and get your account set up. Okay, so to book a cabin on this, it's the same process as Red Awning Travel Pro. You're going to book directly through RoomRez. Right, you will do your initial search, and again, filters are your best friend, right? So down here with RoomRez, they don't have a cabin filter, so I clicked apartment, and that's what pops them up for me. Okay. Next, we have Expedia Tab, right? Expedia Tab is going to have plenty of options, right? However, Expedia Tab, we can register through Archer, right? But we only get 50% commission rather than 80% out of what Expedia Tap is going to offer you. Okay, so again, when we go into Expedia Tap, let me go ahead and it's not letting me on my screen. Oh man. So when we go into Expedia Tap, good thing I have screenshots, right? After you do your initial search, whatever town you're looking for, you're going to click on cabin, and that will filter everything out. And if you did not know this, with Expedia Tap, when you search properties alone, right? So when we're not adding anything to it, no flights, you're going to be able to search by commission tier as well, right? So I recommend looking in the premium plus, okay? And that's going to expand your commission with Expedia Tap as well. And in addition to that, you can log in to Expedia through Rakuten to get cash back on any bookings you make, right? So when you log into Expedia through Rakuten, if you're already registered with Expedia Tap, it's automatically going to pop up as Expedia Tap for you when you log in. Very fun fact and a good hack. Did anyone know that, by the way? I'm curious. Oh, Rhonda, you've also heard of the topvillas.com. They also have cabins and rentals, etc. Yes. So Rhonda, have you researched if they have a travel agent portal or if you have to call to book?
That I don't know. I just heard about it just yesterday, so I haven't researched it just as yet, but I definitely would research it a little bit more.
Sure, yeah. I was doing further research for this training too, and sometimes companies just don't offer commission, which is a bummer, right? They're kind of missing out on a business opportunity. But if you ever come across a vendor online, guys, just call them and ask them if they have commissionable rates and ask them how you get paid that commission. You're able to do that because you have an IATA number, you're affiliated with a host agency. Okay, so that IDA number is kind of like your key to being able to work with vendors that are not on the in the suppliers list in the travel cafe, right? So some of these other vendors you'll find of I just found it on the internet and they'll pay commission because I called them and asked, right? So Anne Marie, yes, you knew that about Rakuten. Awesome, good. So Paula, you were late. What is the link to register through the back office? I'll circle back to that. You might have come in at like the back end of the conversation. But let's continue on. All right. So one more thing with Expedia tab. Once you have done your search for properties alone, these little yellow circles here, that info button, if you click on that, it will tell you the commission amount you're making from Expedia tab. So you can kind of calculate, okay, well, if I make 50% of that, that's what I'm taking home. All right. Moving on, ski.com. I did a training on this, I think it was about 2 months ago. So I've included the link here. And again, this PDF is something that you will have access to when I post this training. It'll be in the description part of my YouTube video. So you can learn all the nitty gritty stuff about ski.com there and how to register. However, you can register with and find some cabins, right? They're going to, ski.com is obviously ski trip oriented, but we can book lodging alone and you can find some really beautiful cabin rental options. Okay, so you'll be able to book directly through the site by requesting a quote from the company, and you'll be able to find a cabin specifically with this vendor. However, it's going to be dependent on the location you're looking into. So they have a lot of Colorado options because skiing is big in Colorado. All right, and so ski.com does offer 10% commission on lodging for the majority of their inventory. So if it's more of a luxury type place, they may not offer the full 10%. Why? I do not know. But if you have luxury clients, this might be a good option. Okay, so the last three that I have here for you, these three are the unconventional ways of getting our commission, right? You're going to have to call these vendors to book the cabin rental. So in the chat box, put for me what your information are you going to need. Oh, I put the answer here, but what other what other information are you going to need if you're going to be calling someone to book on behalf of your client? Let's make a list in the chat box. Sammy, yes, they do. They have ride and lift tickets as well through ski.com. So again, guys, in the chat box, what are you going to need besides the IDA number to book through a vendor directly by calling? Yep, so how many guests, IDA number, what else? Number of travelers, the dates. What's the most important thing we need to book something? Money. Yes, thank you, Sammy. Right, so you're gonna have to have your the card information ready to book over the phone as well, right? Good, thank you. So again, these three vendors we have Gatlinburg oriented, so Pigeon Forge. These other two are going to be more broad in terms of destinations. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these. All right, let's go to hiddenmountain.com. Oh, this one is Smokies oriented, but that's okay. All right, so how many of you have stayed in the Smoky Mountains? Because if you've stayed there, you'll understand why it is such a common place for people to go. Alexa's been there frequently. Cindy has. I've been there a couple times. Sammy went in a tent. Oh, that has to be awesome. That would be a fun experience. Anne Marie, not yet. Rhonda has been and loved it. Oh, your family reunion next year. So girl, let me tell you, this training might be great, right? Karen drove through it. Yep, so if you have not stayed in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, I highly recommend it, right? one of the best ways to sell travel to clients is when you've been somewhere and have experienced it firsthand, right? It's absolutely beautiful. You can hike halfway up the mountain if you're not someone that's like super into long hikes. I recommend at least hiking halfway up. All right, it's absolutely beautiful. So let's go ahead and look through Hidden Mountain Resorts. I'll make mine for October again. Let's say we're going to stay for 4 nights. 1 bedroom. Ooh, East. Oh, sorry guys. There we go. Door shut. All right, we'll just pick East. It'll even pull up a list of all of the options they have. Right? If you know exactly what they want. However, I have no idea, right? So I'm just gonna hit check now. It'll pop up everything that is available. Everything's booked, right? So here's the thing with cabin rentals, guys. You need to book very far in advance, at least 6 months, because they go so quickly. Especially being in the Gatlinburg area, it's a high priority place for people to travel, especially during the fall. Okay, so let's go further out. How far will they let us go? Maybe forever. Oh, wow. I'm curious. Let's see. 2 years in advance. Drum roll, please. Yes. So this is what I'm talking about, right? Why do they have it so far in advance? Because it is wanted by so many people, right? So you can reserve all the way into fall of 2024. Let's see how much further we can go from there. I'm really curious. Let's see. Wow, 2027. Let's see if it actually works. No. Far-fetched, right, guys? But anyway, so you're able to book very far in advance with Hidden Mountain Resort. That's awesome. Okay, so let's go back and take a look at Gatlinburg Falls Resort. This is not an actual resort. The site does have cabin rentals outside of the resort. Okay. So here they have packages, they have even wedding options, romantic and honeymoon, pet friendly cabins. How awesome is that? I have a dog, so I know that, traveling and leaving your pet behind, A, can get expensive, and B, it's kind of sad, right? If they're your best friends. They have some specials here. So you will have to call them directly and see if you can get commission on wedding type travel and these other options, right? Let's just say that I'm looking for a 1-bedroom cabin. Look how beautiful that is. Wow. Okay. Into October. We might run into the same issue with it being fully booked, but let's see. Awesome. Okay, so we have some things available, right? We have filters that we can work with as well. Very extensive, which is really awesome. I know for me, I don't know, I have a thing about having a hot tub or a jacuzzi in my cabin, right? So you'll click that and it'll filter all those things out. Let's just take a look at this Southern Comfort Place. There we go. How beautiful is that? Very nice. So for families, right, who have kids and maybe family reunions, parties, stuff like that, cabin rentals might be a really great option. Okay. This is a really nice one. Wow. All right. So that is Gatlinburg Falls. Again, you're going to have to call them to book. So make sure you have qualified your client, gotten all their information before you call. right? Do some research on the site as well. Don't just call them and be like, hey, do you have this, and that available? Do some research, find out what your client wants, decide on something, and then call. Okay. All right. Going back. Got one more. Acorn Cabin Rentals. All right, and again, these are in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So the 3 on this are going to be Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Tennessee oriented. Okay, if you need to find a cabin rental outside of Tennessee, then you're going to probably have to go to Expedia Tap unless you're able to find another vendor through your research online that will give you commission. Okay, so let's do October again. What I really like about these 3 sites that I just showed you is they have a really good variety of what I would consider like base level cabins all the way up to what I would consider luxury as well. Okay. Let's see. What amenities? Ooh, you can even search all the way down to the air hockey table, right? All right, so let's just take a look at one of these. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat box because I will start Q&A in just a few minutes. Right, so here's another really beautiful cabin option, a little more cozy, right? Very nice. Okay, so what I like about this site too is you can directly see their availability and the price changes that come with it. All right, so let's see. Okay, so look here, see, end of November, it does get less expensive. You can definitely see where peak season is, right? So when your clients are asking for a cabin rental, but they might have flexible dates, this site could be a really great option to quickly tell what time of year is going to be best for them based on their budget. Okay, and it breaks down, of course, their rental amount and what is being paid for where. And again, you'll have to call to book. Okay, so with all that in mind, again, you will get this PDF after the training is uploaded to my YouTube channel. Your trainers will receive it and send it out to you, and you'll have this PDF available. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and we can do some Q&A as well.